Have you been noticing some changes lately? Extreme tiredness, lack of motivation, brain fog, overwhelm, and you know that something is going on. Nobody else seems to understand. Everybody else just think that, oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're just miserable. Oh, you're just irritable. No, this is what we call premenopausal symptoms. And today in this video, we're going to talk about it because, girl, if you are in your 30s going into your 40s, then you should be prepared of what to expect with all these premenopausal symptoms. I'm in my early 40s. I turned 40 last year. And when I started noticing all these changes, I thought something was definitely wrong mentally with my brain, right? And then I had to start doing some research. I had to reach out to some friends to say, hey, have you noticed any of these changes? What's going on? Am I the only one? You know, growing up in our early, looking forward to puberty, we are well prepared by your parents, by your mom, by school teachers for puberty, what to expect. We have that emergency sanitary napkin in our bags. We know exactly what to do if we're out and about and we hit our first period experience, right? First menstrual cycle. We're all prepared and ready for that. But it is the opposite when it comes on to adulthood, entering our premenopausal era in our life, right? So, my sister, let's have a one-to-one girl talk because I know you've been searching all around, wondering what's going on, and I'm here to give you all, well, 10 of the symptoms that you might be experiencing right now so you can be rest assured that no, it's not just you. It is a normal cycle that most women experience as they're aging in this age group, right? So premenopausal symptoms usually start in 30s, maybe in the mid 30s going on to later 30s, right? Some women experience it in the 40s. And what causes premenopausal symptoms really is a decrease in our estrogen level, right? So it's a shift in our hormones, you know, our hormones giving us our regular cycle. And unfortunately, women, we have to go through all these things. We have to go through the periods, the cramps, the labor, and no, this. It never ends, right? So premenopausal is the stage leading up to your last period, leading up to menopause when we have our last period, and that is usually when you have a year with no period. That's what we usually call menopause. So let's have a chat about it. Comment below, what are the symptoms you're experiencing right now, entering into your 40s, in your early 40s. What is the most bothersome sign and symptoms that you're experiencing right now? So let's get right into it. So the first one is anxiety. So you might be feeling overly anxious for everything. You are planning an event, you're planning a trip, or you're planning a speech at work, and usually you know that you're so good at this, but for some reason you get so anxious and you're wondering what's going on, why I can't get myself together, why am I shaking, why am I nervous, like extreme anxiety. Are you experiencing this? Let me know in the comment right now, right? Number 2 is the mood swings and the irritability. Is your family telling you that, why are asking you really, like, what's going on, mom? Why are you so edgy? Why are you so grumpy? Why are you so moody? What's going on? Or your husband might be asking you the same thing. Hey, what's what did I do now, right? So you're on this edge of irritability, this edge of mood swing. You might be invited to an event and you're like, I don't even know if I'm going until like an hour before, because at any time you might not feel like going anymore. The mood swings. You're in one zone. You want to do one thing, you don't want to do it. So it's like in and out, in and out, in and out. Are you experiencing this? I know I have been, and I'm being more aware of what is going on. Now I have better control, and I tell my family, right? We're in the premenopausal era. It's not me really. It's whatever is going on in our body. And with that, you have to educate your family. So call your husband, tell him to come on, say, come and listen, because you will now realize that it's not just me, it's a normal process. So it is important for your partner to be listening to this video right now as we're discussing all the changes. Number 3 is panic attack. Do you find yourself like panicking extra, like what's next? What's next? You're usually somebody who's always preparing stuff, right? You have events, you're planning events, and during that process, you're like extremely panicking, like, can I do this? Can I not do this? Like, what's going on, really? Yes, that is one of the signs of premenopausal symptoms. Next is what we call brain fog. How is your memory these days? Are you walking into the room going to get something and all of a sudden you totally forgot what you went into the room for? You call your husband, you call your child, and you totally forgot what the phone call was about, right? Are you experiencing this? Yes, so this is what we call brain fog. You just forget stuff. You don't remember, you can't keep track of things. Somebody invited you somewhere and you didn't put it in your calendar, and they're like, oh, but I told you this. And you're like, no, you didn't. And they're like, yep, I told you this. We have this going on in our family right now where my daughter will tell me something, and then I ask her like when it's time, and she mentions it, and she's like, Mom, I told you this. I'm like, no, you didn't. She's like, yes, I did. Then I remember, oh, yes, she might have, but with this process of life right now, I'm in the forgetful era where, yes, so I have to reassure, oh, yes, you might have, but the brain fog going on right now, you have to be gentle with me and just remind me of upcoming events. And I try to use my journal, I try to use my calendar. So you can use whether you have a planner or whether you like to use your schedule on your phone to plug things in for reminders, because you will forget things. Do you notice that you're having more frequent headaches, or headaches? You might be a person that don't usually have headaches, but right now you're noticing, where did this headache come from? All of a sudden there's headaches. That's another sign of premenopausal symptoms. Number 6, one of my friends told me that she was experiencing this. I didn't experience this as yet, but you might be experiencing. Let me know in the comment. It is uncontrolled crying. Do you find yourself just sobbing, crying for no reason? You just feel sad, feel like you're in a dark place, and you're just crying all the time. Easily, somebody might say something to you, which usually before this, it wasn't offensive, but right now, everything is just so offensive. And it just triggers the tears just start rolling down your eyes right now. Is that you? Is that you right now? Let me know in the comments. And if you're not subscribed as yet, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because on this channel, we're all thriving in life, especially in our 40s, where we talk about life transitions through this chapter in our lives, right? So if you are finding yourself crying all the time, you're not the only one. Other women who are in this stage are also experiencing this symptom. Number 7, lack of motivation. Do you find yourself having less interest in things that you usually enjoy doing? You know that you are the person who planned things, everything planned out, your meals planned out, your routines planned out, everything, your exercise, your fitness, and all that stuff planned out. And now you're like, I don't even feel like planning anything. I don't even know what's for dinner. I don't even feel like going to the gym. I don't even feel like doing all the stuff that you usually do. You know, you started this side hustle. You're thinking about starting the side hustle, and you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore. You started a project that you usually brings you joy, fulfillment, and then you're like, I don't even want to do that anymore. Are you experiencing this right now? It is because of your hormones, the shift in your hormones at this time. So what you have to do, I'm thinking of doing another video of how to cope mentally throughout this period of your life. If you think that would be an interested video, an interested topic, let me know. Put it in the comments. Coping. So I know that that's a useful video that you might see helpful. I don't want to do this video and then nobody wants it, right? So just drop it in the comments. Yes, interested. Coping, right? So that's the other one. Being less motivated, having to push yourself to do things. You don't even feel like going to work anymore. You don't even feel like cooking dinner anymore. And you are the person who's always in the kitchen. You don't even feel like having people over anymore. You don't want to host. You don't want to do anything. You just want to be left alone in your corners by yourself, having your me time, undisturbed era, undisturbed periods. And number 8 takes us to frequent urinary tract infection. Do you have the urge to pee so often? Do you have a burning sensation after peeing? Those are signs of urinary tract infection. You're finding they're popping up like you just had a UTI like a month ago. Why am I having another UTI? Why am I having this urge to pee? And when you go pee, just a little bit drizzle, and you know, a little trickle. You're like, this is not right. What's going on? Yep, premenopausal symptoms. And just for disclaimer, these are not any medical advice. Please, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, I will advise for you to reach out to your family doctor. I recently booked an appointment with my family doctor and I'm awaiting that appointment. I will do another video follow-up of the recommendations, what she recommends, and all that stuff. But seeing in my research, I've seen other women where they are recommended to do blood work for a routine check and all those stuff, just to check for the hormonal levels, right? So there are different things that you need to do, different form of investigation. So this is definitely not any medical advice, but just sharing from my personal experience and from what I've heard from my friends and doing research, right? Got it? And number 9 is dry skin, dryness, extreme dryness. You're itching all the time, itching. And do you know what else comes with that dry skin? Dry vagina. Yes, it is dry down there, which as a result leads to painful intercourse. Are you that person who is always in heat? You're like, you can't wait to get on it. And then you find that you're no longer enjoying intercourse, intimacy, because of this dryness. You're not in the mood. So it comes with the mood swings, not in the mood, which comes with now the layer of the dryness, which comes with the irritability, and everything just all pads up, adding on, one after the other piling up, right? So this can cause some problems in some relationships, right? So that's why it is important to discuss these things with your partner. That's why I recommend getting him to watch this video so he knows what's going on and both of you can, meet in the middle. You can get support from your spouse, from your kids, so you're not struggling in these symptoms by yourself, right? Another thing that I've seen others recommended is lubricant, right? So this will help with the dryness. So I think lubricant, you can get it over the counter format, right? So start doing your research and start stocking up and stuff like those. Another thing is to try getting more intimate, more touching, or whatever the pre-intercourse period. So maybe that has to be more intense for a longer period, so that brings on more lubrication, right? That's just a girlfriend tip. Chat, put it in the comments. Do you agree? Are you experiencing that? Yes, others might not be talking about it, but a lot of women are experiencing these symptoms in silence. And number 10, This might be one of the first signs that you might notice is fluctuation in your period, in your cycle, right? So you might have longer periods, shorter periods, unexpected periods, delayed periods. You might be the person that has a monthly 28-day cycle, and now it's every 14 days, now it's every 21 days, it's every 40 days, every 50 days, and it's all over the place. For me, I can share my experiences with you. This was one of the things that I first noticed. I think this started maybe earlier this year. So my last periods were all over the place. Some were 50 days apart. I remember doing a pregnancy test. I remember doing like several pregnancy tests, like what's going on? Where's my period? And it took like 50 days. And then after that one, I had two that came like 14 days. And then I had one which was a full week after spotting, just light spotting. And the two previous ones were very heavy periods and heavy and a lot of cramps. And I'm like, what's going on? Is this normal? So that's what triggered me to reach out to my girlfriends and to also to go and schedule my appointment with my GP. So I've seen persons recommended hormonal replacement therapy, but this therapy might not be suitable or appropriate for everyone depending on your physical background, your physical history, right? So it is advisable to reach out with your GP or your gynecologist to talk further about treatment and recommendations, right? So these are the symptoms. There are several others. I've done a previous video of what to expect entering 40, where I shared some other information, some other signs and symptoms. So you can go ahead and check out that video right here. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.